Donald Trump won't be the next president of the United States. That being said, he will win on November 5th. The establishment and all of their power will do anything possible to ensure that he does not become the next president of the United States. When we wake up November 6th, he will have secured enough votes in enough states to be the president of the United States of America. But Kamala will not certify it. I guarantee it. They will drag this out as long as possible, likely past January 20th. And the left will be cheering the entire time. And my prediction is that by January of 2025, there will be enough civil unrest in this country that they will declare martial law. At which point, every law that is on the books goes out the table. Biden will step down or be stepped down, and Kamala Harris will be declared the next president. And after that, who knows what happens? I think we actually do know, but for the purpose of this video, who knows?
Put into the Constitution can slip away from you very quickly. And the greatest example going on right now before our very eyes is Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which they're just disappearing with a magic wand, as if it doesn't exist, even though it could not be clearer what it's stating. And so, they want to kick it to Congress. So it's going to be up to us on January 6, 2025, to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified. And then we need bodyguards for everybody in Civil War conditions, all because the 9 justices, not all of them, but these justices who have not many cases to look at every year, not that much work to do, a huge staff, great protection, simply do not want to do their job and interpret what the great 14th Amendment means. And I'm glad that Sherilyn's creating her new center so we can bring that.
Whoa. Scary stuff. So scary. We're going to talk about this tonight. Is any of this possible? Where we at? I got so many people today blowing me up with this stuff. There's 3 people sent me that video, that first one with the scary dude in the car. 3 people. And then the Raskin thing's been around. And so let's talk about this. Let's talk about how feasible this is. We're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about how incredible the momentum is for Trump. He did Madison Square Garden this last Sunday, blew things up. His momentum is continuing. He's leading in New Hampshire now. It's unbelievable. And then DJT is squeezing, baby. It's about to hit, it almost broke 50 today. How much higher is it going to go? So welcome to the Ace Report. I'm back, guys, Monday night. We didn't have a regular live last Thursday. I talked to Bam, which was fantastic. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know I did. I learned so much. But let's say hey to some people in the chat. Vidman numero uno, Troy Man first, Pauly V, what's up, Trace? Troy Man was not first. I said first. You're second, buddy. You're second. Oscar and the Hizzy, Big B, BM Pro, Kathy, Gerald, Doug Peterson, Hero, what's up? Honey Badger, Pauly V. Randy Atwell, Fro Girl, Thomas Dubois, Cindy Lou, Scott Volkovich, BB Vision, Jack Hamilton, all right. Country Computers, Scarpaza, Jack Hamilton, Technologically Spastic, and AC. What's going on, my friends, and everybody else join the chat. Listen, I'm on YouTube, Rumble, and X all at once. If you're on X, guys, I'm not going to see your comments, so I'm sorry about that. I won't see it till later. But if you want to join in the chat, I see some of the Rumble comments, but I really see the comments most on YouTube. So that is the best place to be if you want to join in the chat. It's just how Rumble Studio works. They don't do a good job keeping up with the Rumble chat. So sorry about that if you're on Rumble, but I do actually see Itelli on Rumble. So what's up, Itelli? Good to see you. So, all right, guys, let's talk about this. Okay, so scary stuff being spread out there. I know everybody's got nerves. Everybody's got nerves about this election because Trump is killing it, but it seems too good to be true. 2020 was a cluster blip. It was scary. It feels like we can never win again. And it I get it. I get it. And then we got this guy. So I played you that video. I showed you the Jemmy Raskin clip. We got this guy on the PBD podcast today, Mike Benz, who I like him. I like Mike Benz. Good dude, smart dude. But he's out there saying all the ways they're going to stop the election from being certified, even if Trump wins, because he's so far ahead now. Everybody's starting to look past the election and say, I don't think we're going to be able to steal this one. So how else are we going to stop him? Because it's becoming so overwhelming. It looks like a landslide's coming. And I'm telling you guys, the problem is that we have a constitution that still is mostly holding up. And if they really, really, really could stop things the way so many people have been afraid of, it would already have been stopped. Okay. We would have had a pandemic going on right now. There'd be so much going. World War III would be full on right now. The people, we'd probably have had a martial law at some point. They would have figured out how to stop this. Okay. But what is this? Stephen Karras saw this. You stop following a bit. Say that for a headline makes you look very uneducated. I don't know what you're talking about. What's wrong with my headline? Stephen, you're gonna have to be a little more specific there if you got an issue. Anyways, I don't know. Earnings was just reported, Ricky, just a couple of weeks ago. Anyways, so guys, here's the deal. If they, first of all, I'm gonna nip this one in the butt very quickly, because everybody's saying Kamala's going to throw out the certification. There's only one problem with that. Now, listen, I went through and I did my homework today. I pulled up all this stuff on ChatGPT. All right. And I went through all the scenarios. All right. And let's go right here. Number one, can the vice president do this? No. The vice president does not have the power to unilaterally refuse to certify the election results. They just do not have that power. Okay. Vice president's role during the certification process is largely ceremonial. Now, there would be some who say, yeah, but Pence could have thrown him out. They said they could have done that, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe that at some point they had that power. The problem is that the Democrats in 2022 passed this little thing right here called the Electoral Count Reform Act of 2022. This was their way because they were all in a tizzy with January 6th and everything that happened. And they were like, there's no way a vice president has that power. And we're going to prove it to you. And so they passed this act. And it says the Electoral Count Reform Act was passed to clarify ambiguities in the original Electoral Count Act of 1887, exploited, blah, blah, blah. That's what a journalism speak right there. That's not necessarily true. Anyways, but it does do this. It reaffirms the vice president's role as ceremonial and placed additional guardrails around the certification process to make it harder to object based on spurious claims. Now, they're going to say, well, our claims aren't spurious. They're going to get them for insurrection. Yeah, you got a problem there, a big problem there. The problem is, numero uno, he already survived an impeachment trial over that. So precedent says he's innocent. Not one criminal trial brought to him over treason or insurrection stood. The Supreme Court has now declared that Trump's any official acts as president are official, and if Congress doesn't stop it, it's all good, baby. It's all good. So they don't have a legal standing here. They have no legal standing to prevent Trump from becoming president if he's voted in. Okay, so that's one big one. So the vice president, Kamala Harris, cannot choose. She cannot refuse to certify. It's impossible for her. Literally impossible. If she did do so, somebody else would stand up and they would just step in, because it means nothing if she refuses. You understand? Next, in order to decertify or refuse to certify an election, they have to go through state by state, a House member and a Senate member, and they both have to object. And if they object, it then goes to a debate. And in that debate, they have a minimum, or they have maximum 2 hours to debate each state. Okay, there's 50 states, but let's say they refuse to certify 6 states, 7 states. Okay. And they find somebody in the House and the Senate to reject each one. Okay. So we got 14 hours of debate, all that. Here's the problem. They have to then, after debate, get the House and the Senate to both vote, both House and Senate have to both vote to not accept that state's certification. Well, there's a problem there, people. Problem is that the Senate is about 99% going to the Republicans at this point. Seriously, it's about 99%. It is. In fact, there's about an 80% chance they get 53 to 55 seats. So the Senate is almost certain to be Republican. I'm telling you right now, if Trump wins this election as strongly as I believe he's going to, the House will also be Republican. So there you have the House and the Senate. Which one of them is not going to certify? Okay, but let's say they do. Let's say they are able to convince the House and the Senate to not accept certification of like 6 or 7 states and take away his win. And now you have nobody's president. We got an issue here. Well, in that case, which by the way, how many things did we just jump through to get here? A lot, right? We jumped through a lot to get here. This is not so simple as these people on making videos are saying. If all that happens, then you go to what's called a contingent election, where each state gets to vote president, and whoever gets the most votes wins. Well, 26 states have full Republican control. Okay? 26 states, full Republican control. Because of that, that means 26 states are likely to vote for Trump. The Democrats, on the other hand, only have 22. There's 2 that are split. So they have 22 to 26. And if this is a wave election, which I believe it's going to be, that could go up. That could go up to 27, 28. So then you have that to fall back on. So let's recount. A lot of people saying Kamala's not going to certify. It doesn't matter. She doesn't have that power. You can't stop it. Both Nixon and Al Gore were vice presidents who ran for president, had to certify their next guy that they lost to. So this has precedent. She has no power because the Democrats made sure she didn't have the power, so their own votes bit them in the ass. Beautiful, right? Next, you have to get the House and the Senate to agree to withhold electors. Good luck when the House and the Senate, probably both, at least one, is pretty much guaranteed to be Republican. But let's say we still get there. Well, then there's 26 states, at least, Republican. And these are the conservative Republicans on the state level. They have the option to vote Trump in. That's 3 safeguards, guys, that are absolutely major. The Democrats can talk all they want, but after studying this more, after refreshing myself with everything, the fact is they have no way to stop him. It's impossible. They cannot do it. It's not impossible, but it's statistically impossible. Their improbability of this happening is less than 1%, in my opinion. It is so far out there. So do not listen to all these doomers. They have one option, and that is they steal this election. I'm telling you right now, there's no way. There's no way. And I'm going to show you the case tonight. Trump's lead keeps growing. Let's do just real quick. I just want to show you the quick polls, and we're going to go through more stories here in a second. But guys, I went over this. I go over this a lot. I went over this in the members live. But look at this. Trump is now at a new high against Harris. 0.2. He's leading by 0.2. Full on in the lead, national vote. Okay, popular vote, full on lead. We go to the RCP electoral map. Trump's at 312 when you remove toss-ups. He is currently leading, guys, in every single battleground state. And I'm telling you, he just, it's too much. He can't lose at this point. So I really want you guys to understand, like, there's a lot of scary stuff out there. It can't happen. All right. It just cannot happen. Settle down. Stop thinking of all the ways we can lose this and start looking at how we're winning this and start thinking about how we're going to fight to make this happen. Because I'm telling you right now, if we fight to make this happen, if we show up, this is not going to, it's not going to, he's going to get in, and he's going to get in handily, and it's going to be off to the races. You can tell by how scared they are. All right. You can tell they're terrified, and that tells you a lot right there. All right. We good? Any questions? Please let me know. Let me catch up with some of the chat here. That makes you worried, AC. I hope that helps you. Bosa sporting the MAGA hat. That's my boy. I love Nick Bosa, man. He's my boy, my Trump guy. The Niners are Trump fans. What do you want me to say? Purdy, Kittle, Bosa. I don't even know who else. Probably Fred Warner. They class acts, man. Dubois, Oregon left Robert F. Kennedy, Nicole Shannon on the ballot, obviously trying to take the vote away. Yeah, I know. Listen, it doesn't matter, at least in Oregon, but nobody at this point, everybody's going to vote for Trump. I'm going TJJ and DJ through a new death experience. What are you talking about, Steven? I don't even know what you're talking about. Yeah. What are you saying? Yeah, AC, does that help you? Help you understand more? Yeah. When do I think they'll rug pull DJT? I think it might. So I talked to Bam about this the other day, and Bam said that he thinks that there's going to be volatility after the election. But until the election, his model and everything are showing we're going to keep going up. And I feel like that's going to happen too. I feel like we might get a big push through the election. And then afterwards, who knows, there might be a hit. And then I still think we're going to break out, though. I really do. The election will be delayed according to the military. Steven, listen, man, you can believe that all you want, and I have nothing against you. I'm not like, I followed all those channels too. I followed the whole devolution thing, all of that. That's fine. You can totally believe that, man. I don't believe it. Okay. I just don't believe it. But can we agree that Trump's going to get in? Yeah, I think we can agree there. So I don't think it's going to be delayed, though. They'll declare martial law. They're going to try, but I don't think they're going to be able to. I really don't. So listen, guys, there's a lot of conspiracy stuff out there. And honestly, I subscribe to a lot of it. Okay. But I've also seen so much other stuff that is just, listen, a lot of the other things that have been said that would happen by now just simply haven't happened. Let's be honest. Now, there's two options I see here. A, either they just weren't true, which is possible, or B, there was some truth to them, but they've been averted. I think it's entirely possible. So what I think when everybody's saying all this stuff, right or wrong, it doesn't mean it's guaranteed to happen. It just doesn't. And that's where we got to stop thinking we know exactly how things are going to go down. I'm looking at all the data as of right now. And that's all I can do for sure. And then I can tell you guys my opinion on how things will play out. Now, you guys all know, like, let's be honest here. You guys all know, you've been watching me this entire year on the election stuff. You guys know I have been right about 95% of the time on the election stuff. Okay. I was wrong about Biden dropping out. Okay. But I was right that they wouldn't get Michelle. Okay. So there's certain things. I was right about JD Vance. I called that earlier than I think anyone. There's a lot of stuff I've been right about. I told you guys that we'd get to the election, and at this point, 8 days out, I think we're going to do it. Okay. I told you guys Kamala would dip and Trump would bounce back. I told you guys that. I told you guys I didn't think we'd be shut down. I said that. I said we wouldn't get a pandemic. I've been right about all this stuff. And there's several other things I've been right about too. So listen, I'm not perfect. Nobody is. But on this stuff this year, my track record is very strong. And that's why you guys keep showing up all the time. And what I'm telling you is based on the data right now, by the fact we are overwhelming the early vote, by the fact that Kamala is losing so much on her own side. She's losing she's about to lose black people, not lose them, but she's about to lose about 50% of the support they had with Biden. And that is massive. So even if they go 60, 65% for her, she'll be the biggest loser among the black vote since Biden. I mean, sorry, since Kennedy in 60, when Nixon carried more black votes than any other Republican since then. So guys, I'm just telling you, it's really fallen apart for them. And doesn't mean it's going to be easy. No, they're going to fight like hell. It's going to be annoying and things could get crazy. We could have riots. Maybe there's some power outages, some grid outages. I don't know. But as far as the election is concerned, I think this is going to happen. I really do. Doesn't mean there won't be shenanigans, but I think it's going to happen. I think God has been protecting us from their very worst. I really do. Dubois, we're sorry, man. We love you, man. Praying for you, bro. We good? Thanks, AC. Too big to rig. That's right. Rumdog says Trump will be POTUS. My concerns with the deep state remaining behind with secret computer accounts spying on America. The deep state's going to put up a fight. Absolutely. But with Trump, with RFK, with this team, with the power, I'm telling you guys, there's more going on here than what we see in the natural. There just is. There is a spiritual component to this where God is behind the MAGA movement. He is. And he is blowing up their stuff. I'm just telling you right now. It's like, and there's a reason all this scary stuff's starting to come out, because they are trying to freak us out. But listen, it's not going to go down like that. It's just not. Doesn't mean they're not going to fight. Does not mean crazy stuff's not going to happen. I'm not saying that. But they have no avenue to keep Trump out of office. They just do not. I don't think you're a doomsayer country. So now what, they need to buy back 1 billion counterfeit shares in DJT. Yeah, we're going to talk about DJT towards the end, though. I'm going to switch to the stocks right before we get off, all right? Guys, think you're hoping Trump was going to say no income tax last night, place would have been bonkers. He is talking about getting rid of the Fed. I mean, getting rid of income tax. I just don't think he can full on say it all the time, because he's towing a very careful line right now, and he's doing it beautifully, where he's keeping all the establishment people, not all of them, but enough of them that he needs for their votes, that feel like he's not going to shake stuff up as bad as they're worried about. And then he's also keeping the people who want radical change. I saw at least 7, 8 prominent libertarians, including Dave Smith, this week endorse Trump and say they're voting for him. I mean, he's winning those guys now. That's huge. It's absolutely huge. Shogun, what do I think of him talking about RFK files when he gets in office? I think he's going to release them all. I really do. I think they will 100% release the Kennedy files. Trump said he's going to release a lot of stuff, and I think they will. I think what's going to happen, they're going to get in, and what the first thing he's going to do, he's going to turn it over to Bobby. He's going to be like, Bobby, hey, Bobby, you want to see this? You want to see what they did to your uncle, your dad? And RFK is going to look at it and be like, oh my God, just as I suspected. And he's going to look over it, and then he's going to say, well, Bobby, what do you think? And he's going to say, let's get him out there. And I think that's kind of how it's going to go. The Democrats are planning an insurrection. Yeah, exactly. Doesn't Bill Gates have a warrant for him from the Netherlands? That is what I heard. Yeah. Roaring Kitty's tweet about the Avengers may have been about RFK, Tulsi. Maybe. It's very possible. Also, martial law and fail to certify chatter is total nonsense. Media, I think there are psyops on both sides. And I think there are desires from some Democrats for that to happen. And I think they are putting stuff out there to scare people. And also, they're putting out feelers to see if they could do it. I do believe that. But when the people are this much against you, I just don't think you can pull that stuff off. New Jersey going red. I like that, Dirty. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, let's go through some of this stuff where we're at right now, because, you know, It's important. We gotta stay up on the news. So we had that amazing Fifth Circuit ruling the other day, which says that ballots have to be from the day of, okay, or received election day and cannot be received later. But that's only for Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas. However, if it's appealed and goes to the Supreme Court, it then becomes law of the land, which it is already law of the land, but they'll verify it's law of the land in the Constitution, and then it's everywhere. But that probably won't happen before the election. However, it could happen after the election, and it could negate votes if they somehow steal enough over the next few days to rob this from Trump, which I don't think they're going to have enough. Regardless, today, the Nevada Supreme Court, which is lower than the Fifth, but it's not under the Fifth, so this doesn't affect them, says the state can count mail ballots that arrive without a postmark up to 3 days after election day. That's disgusting. So, but we all know they're trying to steal it. We see it. Okay. Nobody has to tell you that. You know it. I know it. We all know they're going to play games. The fact is, can they do it? Now, here's something that I don't hear anybody talking about, and it drives me nuts. Just like the Jamie Raskin thing, just like the Kamala will not certify thing. This stuff drives me nuts because people, do your research, read our laws, read our Constitution, figure this out, look at logic and how this all plays out. Okay? You cannot steal, you cannot deliver more fake votes than they have registered voters. That is where it runs out. You understand? So, if Trump is in a state and it's early and they get more than 50% of registered voters voting for him in that state, it's over. They cannot steal it. Do you understand? In 2020, they were able to pull off the steal by it being just close enough in the margins where they could keep supplying ballots and they had room to work. Okay. This election, I don't think they're going to have that room. I think it's going to be so overwhelmingly Trump that they're not going to be able to deliver it because there is a limit, guys. So say in Nevada, it's a smaller state, so it's easier to run these numbers. Say in Nevada, you have 3 million registered voters. I don't know if that's the true number or not. This is just hypothetical, okay? Bear with me. It's just math. Say they have 3 million registered voters. And on election day, they get 2.5 million of those. All right. And so that means there's 500,000 votes they did not receive from potential voters. Doesn't mean those people were going to vote, but it means they're potential voters. All right. And usually each state votes between 60% and say 72%, somewhere in that range. Nobody votes 80%. Nobody votes 90%. Nobody's ever voted 100%. But because they're registered voters, theoretically, you could have up to 3 million votes. So at the end of Tuesday, they've counted 2.5 million votes for Nevada, which is a great turnout. That is what, 85%? That would be incredible turnout. And Trump is up. He's way up. And he has 1.5 million and 1 votes. Well, guess what? Even if they delivered 500,000 votes in a row for Biden, Trump would still win that state. And they can't deliver anymore because they don't have any more registered voters. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it is very possible to be too big to rig. Extremely possible. And if you get to the point where you're delivering so many ballots to try to push it over, and all of a sudden states are seeing 85, 90%, and they're like, Kamala's winning. It's the greatest turnout election of all time. Everybody's going to be able to say, BS, no way. That does not happen. Nobody votes 85%. This is how we catch them. And everybody's watching. So I'm telling you guys, we can beat this. Like this is in it. We absolutely can beat this. And we're going to beat it. Rumdog says Trump should market the D-Class docs as the greatest reality show ever. Does Bannon have a lot to say? Oh, I can't wait to watch Bannon tomorrow. Yeah. What's God theory on Israel war? What do you mean by that, Vince? Andy Brewer, you're excited for Trump to win. We'll be rich. Yeah, I hope so. I really do. I believe there's going to be like the economy is going to open up in a way where everybody's going to be able to make a lot more money. I do agree with that. Danny, there's a pile of floating trash in the ocean. It's Puerto Rico. Oh boy, don't get me in trouble going there. Trump said cheat and go to jail. There are people going to jail. Yeah, exactly. There's another part. They'll use their USPS to rig it. They'll try. But guys, we can outvote this. Do not be blackpilled. You don't understand. In 2020, everything went right for them. Biden was close enough where they could hide under the shadow of COVID. They were able to get people to change their laws to send out ballots to everybody without even registering, without even requesting. If you were a registered voter, you got a ballot, okay, in certain states, swing states. They were able to get away with that because of COVID. That can't happen this time. So that's number one. Number two, Trump is so stinking far ahead that at this point, nobody's going to believe. And number three, everybody's out there watching him. Everybody's out there watching him this time. We're ready this time. And number four, many states changed their laws to make it much harder, including my home state here in North Carolina, where we now have voter ID. It is much, much, much harder. So crank up, do what they did in 2020, which they barely pulled off, guys. In 2020, they barely pulled it off. 40,000 votes in swing states. That's it. That's how they pulled it off. They squeaked it out by the skin of their teeth. They barely did it. And this time we're supposed to believe they can pull it off when it's 10 times harder. I just don't believe it, guys. Doesn't mean they're not going to try. It doesn't mean we're not going to see craziness. But Trump is it's so overwhelming this time. It is so overwhelming. I just don't see how they're going to make it happen. I just do not see how they can pull it off. Dirty, people need to be alert election day for something unexpected. I agree with you. Yeah, possibly cyber attacks. I do believe crazy stuff could happen, but it's not going to stop us. Robert, tell me it'll be done with Dominion tabulators. A couple of keystrokes can switch total vote from zero chance. But Robert, listen, are you right? They'll try 100%. Can they pull it off? I don't think so. How many states are even using Dominion anymore? It's not that many. It's not that many. And I definitely don't think it's every county of all those states. I think we have a couple counties and a few states using them, and that's it. Most places got rid of them. Fingers back up over 205. Nice. Love for Trump to call it shorts. It's coming. Where's Stone been? I don't know. They caught them last time. Now he wants stragglers. Yeah, this is right. You put me on surround sound to make your dog happier? I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I love dogs, but how's your dog like me? Your question is, Trump takes office November 20th, so there we won't get a new chairman SEC till after you mean January 20th? Yeah, they inaugurate on January 20th. And that's when he'll take in, and that's when we could get a new SEC chair. Unless Gensler dips out before then, which, I could see happening. All right, let's keep moving. Guys, look at this. Minnesota is now officially in play. Guys, this is within the margin of error. And margin of error doesn't mean squat when a lot of these polls, especially in the Midwest, were off by 10, 11, as high as 13 points in 2020 and 2016. So this Minnesota poll, because the Midwest is hard to poll, the Rust Belt's hard to poll, this poll is completely possible Trump's actually up 2 or 3. It's completely possible. But even in their margin of error, it's possible he's up 0.4. So this is great news, guys. Minnesota, like I told you, he's ahead now in New Hampshire. So here's the other thing you guys have to think about, okay? This is a Minnesota Post, Magic Moon. So it's a lefty paper, and they polled 1,700 people. I don't think it's a lie. I do not think it's a lie. So think about this. There's 7 states everybody's watching, okay? North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Nevada. That's the 7 swing states. Trump's leading in all of them. Those are also the most likely to get the most cheating. All right. Guess what? Kamala Harris just pulled her ads from North Carolina. The only ads still running are the ads that they already paid for. But she's pulled all of her radio ads. She's pulling her people out. You know where they're going? Virginia. She's moving her campaign to Virginia right now, out of North Carolina. Resources out of North Carolina. They're letting North Carolina go. It's done. They're like, we can't win this state. It's out. North Carolina, done. We got 6 states left. Arizona, they've also been pulling money out. Arizona, they think, is the most red. They're saying 7-8 points possibly. It's well without out of reach. Georgia, also possibly. Pennsylvania is getting redder by the hour. But here's the thing. Trump is so smart on this. Right now we have New Hampshire, Virginia, and New Mexico, and now Minnesota, all within the margin of error. Trump is going to Albuquerque on Thursday. He's that confident. He's going to Virginia. I don't know if he's going to New Hampshire. And I'm not sure if he's going to Minnesota, but I think he might be. He does all this. He's making them play defense. Kamal's already done an event in New Hampshire, and she sent Biden over there. You think they're scared? The other thing is, when you're trying to pull off a cheat of this magnitude, when things are 10 times harder than they were in 2020, well, guess what? In 2020, there was no blue wall states that they were defending. It was all about the battlegrounds. Trump this time is on the offense. They are having to divert resources. And if a couple places fall that they did not expect, that makes it even harder to pull off. If Virginia falls, Virginia, Republican governor, I think it might have a Republican House at this point. The governor is fighting election fraud left and right. Virginia very possibly could switch Republican. They weren't ready for that. They didn't put a cheating infrastructure into Virginia. All right. Not the way they needed to, like in the battleground states. I'm telling you guys, think about it. Think about it. Think about how much harder this is. Not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying that if they try to steal this one and they somehow pull it off, it's going to be so egregious, so awful, so in our face. It's going to be 5 times more obvious in 2020 that nobody will accept it, except for the hardcore Kamala people. But there's not enough of them. There's not that many of them. And we have GOP with balls, Laura Trump. Yeah, exactly. The RNC is much better now. Shogun says, you think New York can go red after the rally? I think it's very difficult to make New York go red. I do. Do I think it's going to be much closer? Yeah. But to actually flip it, that's going to be tough. If they flip New York, I mean, it's over. Trump will get 400 electoral votes, which is maybe possible. Can't stop. Oh, yeah, we're going to get to that, AC. Yeah. Your dog vibes off you? That's awesome. Her name's Angel. I love it, Thomas. That's great. Rum Dog, Minnesota's embarrassed how Omar harvested their votes in 2020. Yeah. Mad Max says, I'm hearing Amish for Trump because of farming. Now we got to hear Kamala's Amish. Maybe she'll show up with a beard. Could you imagine? Yeah, DJT 110 volume. Yep. If Ronna was still in charge of the RNC, we'd probably be losing this election. Just saying. Just saying. All right, let's keep going because there's more to cover. Raheem Kassam, who's amazing, says, I don't mean to get overexcited. You know I'm not one for hyper optimism, but I've just seen numbers that show Kamala could lose Maine, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Virginia, and others. Now, listen, Raheem Kassam is not somebody who makes stuff up. Trump the other day said his internal polls, they're winning big. He said this at the rally in Austin. He said, I'm not supposed to say this, but I can't do a good Trump. Sorry, guys. I'm not supposed to say this, but we're winning big. We're winning so big. He's excited. He obviously sees some. And I think Raheem Kassam saw the internal polls. Could you imagine if Kamala loses? And this is what I was just talking to you guys about, her playing defense. Maine, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Virginia. Forget it. If you get New Jersey and Virginia, that's 30 electoral votes right there. In that case, you don't even need Arizona and Georgia. Nevada. You don't need those 3. That's how this changes everything. The fact that he's gone on offense. It's amazing, guys. It's absolutely massive. Okay, I want you guys to okay, well, it's too long. I don't want to play all 4 minutes of this. If you get the chance, I'm going to put this in the chat, actually. The link to this, because I want you guys to watch this later. Watch Rich Baris on Benny Johnson today. He broke stuff down that's just massive. He says surging Trump poll numbers among blacks, Hispanics may not only hand him a popular vote victory, but a commanding electoral win as well. There is a scenario where he gets to 350. Guys, you know how hard it is to get to 350 in our current electoral divide in this country? It's crazy hard. And we're going to go to the map here in a minute to show you, but it's nuts. Just the fact that he's even saying it out there. I mean, this is getting crazy. Amish 100% Trump, absolutely. Shogun, time to make a YOLO bet. Trump with 400. Man, I'm telling you, if he hits 400, oh, jeez, you might legitimately see liberals' heads explode. Like legitimately heads explode, just like in the Chappelle skit. Where he takes off his KKK mask, he's black guy, and the head explodes. We might see that if Trump hit 400. I'm just saying. Keep going. GOP surging. Michigan early voting. GOP area saw a massive increase in ballot returns compared to Democratic areas. GOP counties have the highest return rates. Democrat ones have the lowest. There's no love. The joy is gone for Kamala. This is massive, guys. They were destroying the early vote in 2016 and 2020. Democrats always kill it. And somehow, by some miracle, all of a sudden Republicans are better. And now this is how the Democrats are coping. They're saying, oh, the Democrats are going to show up on election day. It's a new strategy. Yeah, except that you guys didn't make that strategy. You guys didn't plan that strategy. You guys stuck to your old strategy thinking it'd be working, and now we're beating you at your own game. That is this. It's game-changing stuff, guys. Absolutely game-changing stuff. And this is why the numbers don't lie. The early voting is out of control. The polls right now are out of control. The movement, it's like something I've never seen before. Now I'm only 41, but some of you older guys, I bet you've never seen this either. Guys and gals, you've never seen like something like this in America. This is a movement unlike anything else. Do you really think they can steal this one and the people are going to let it happen? I don't see it happening. I just don't see it happening. This is the kind of thing that makes me excited. Trump said on MSG the other day, Madison Square Garden. Yeah, Clayton Bigsby. That's right, Brett. He says him and Matt Gaetz share a little secret to give Republicans an edge. What on earth could he be talking about? Trump knows something. He knows something, and he's very confident. Says our secret is making waves. We'll reveal it once the race is won. What is this about? Honestly, that's exciting. That's very exciting stuff. I don't know what it could be, but he seems to believe that they prepared for the steal. They prepared for them to take everything away, and they're ready for it. Trump doesn't seem worried in the slightest. Not in the slightest. Florida early voting, guys, up 11.5% over 20. I mean, this is just getting stupid. Almost 13% up from 2020s. And the Republicans have a 12-point lead. This just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. I mean, and this is actual data. This is not prognostication. This is data. Media, clean up my pronunciation of Nevada. It's not Nevada, it's Nevada. Nevada. I like Nevada. I'm gonna stick with Nevada. It just sounds better. I'm making it better. Listen, Kamala, I'm going to call, you know what? Nevada. You know why I get to say Nevada? Because I'm Californian. And that's how we say it, Nevada. And that's how we say Kamala. Dems are going to accuse of voter fraud when it happens. Who cares? It's not going to work. Who's Matt Gaetz? Matt Gaetz is like one of the best Republican representatives in Congress. He's awesome. And I believe he's a majority leader right now. So, yeah, your rep from Florida. That's right. Alan, you're late. Remember, you didn't have absentee ballots. PS vote today with wife. Nice. Iowa. I love it. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's keep moving. Oh, you don't say. Tim Woolsey balls. Secret fling with the daughter of a Chinese communist official, the way he was teaching in China. What? And this is from the Daily Mail. Now, I'm not saying the Daily Mail is like, the Wall Street Journal or something, but the Daily Mail is pretty good. They're a real paper. They put out real stuff. It's not the New York Post, but it's pretty close. I trust it. If they see something, it's pretty interesting. Imagine this. Is this going to get traction? Probably not. The Democrats are probably going to put it down. But hey, there's a few people that's going to get out to. And it might be enough to just sway a little bit. Even if it's a 0.1%, a tenth of a percent, that's still enough. It's still enough to keep the momentum going. And I love it. I mean, so this is out there. That's a great quote. 51 FBI agents claim this is Russian disinformation. That's hilarious. Betting markets now have Trump at 66%. Where's the joy, guys? It's fallen apart quick. We have Bezos out there writing op-eds for the Washington Post saying that the media is no longer trusted. We got to change it. The Washington Post refused to endorse Kamala. Today, USA Today refused to endorse the president. The other day, LA Times refused to endorse the president. 3 of the nation's largest papers, hardcore liberals, LA Times, Washington Post, USA Today, all refused to endorse. You think they know they're going to lose this? Guys, this is not how people act when they know that they have a win tucked in their pocket. This is not how you act when you have pocket aces. This is not how you act when you know you got the win hidden up your sleeve. You got the cheat ready to go. That's not how you act. These people are doing everything as if they are going to lose. They are preparing for the loss. Bezos is like, listen, I was on your guys' side, the Democrats' side, but Trump's going to win this, and I'm not giving up my billions for you. I'm not losing my money. So that's what's happening. They're starting to cover their asses because they know they're going to lose. This is nuts. This is absolutely crazy. Augustin, I'm going to talk about DJT at the end here. About 5-10 more minutes. His daughter, yeah, right, hero. Damian Trump or Hannibal Lecter for dinner in Buffalo Bill teaching kids. What? I don't get it, but that's scary. Brett, it's actually a pretty interesting story. It means Timmy was going out with a wing. Oh my God. I heard somebody say today that they didn't believe it because there's no way Tim Walz was hooking up with a girl. Oh, funny. All right. Hey, our favorite hack liberal projector who just can't stand Trump, who always rigs these things in favor of the Democrats. Even he now has Trump up 10 points because it's overwhelming. The momentum is insane. And now this, I don't know if I believe it. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't know if I believe this right here, but I wanted to share it anyways because it's very interesting. So Uncensored AI, it's an AI like search engine type place. It's, it brings together, aggregates a bunch of stories and stuff. And anyways, this guy goes to it and asks, how much support does Donald Trump have? What's the percentage of support? And Uncensored AI told him that he has 73% support. Now, where on earth does that number come from? I don't know. Are they just, is it weighing the social posts and reading positive versus negative? I have no idea how on earth it came up with this number. I've never seen this number before. But there's something out there that when this AI went and scanned the internet, it came back with an answer that believes Trump has 73% support. Guys, I'm telling you, I mean, I've been saying that I could see Trump having 60 to 65% of the nation. I do believe that. Is it possible he has 73%? Yes. Is it likely? No. But man, it's still crazy, right? You just believe it's unbelievable. Alan says no newspaper company should endorse anyone to be fair and balanced. I agree with that, actually, but they always do. They always endorse the Democrats. So this is very strange that they not this time. Can DJT cause heavy short stocks this week? It's impossible to know. Bam said DJT could dip to 18. Yeah, 17, 18 is possible. Thomas, tiny Tim to get. Okay, I'll do DJT in just a second, guys. I know you're very excited about it. I know. In fact, I think it's my next post. Yep. Okay, we're at the DJT segment, which I know you're all excited about. I've been getting lots of questions all of a sudden. Okay, guys, DJT has been going bonkers, correct? I mean, today, if you count after hours, it ended up being up like 25%, close to that just today, and it's been climbing. Been climbing like crazy since it was at 12, since it dipped down to 12. So massive. And total volume today, 105 million about. Just crazy stuff. And this stock is a monster and it's trending with Trump. I mean, you see where it's gone. And I'm telling you right now that in my opinion, no, I'm a stock guy as far as I follow a story. And I can kind of tell trends by watching. Okay. That's how far my stock stuff goes. I don't read charts. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not a trader. But I'll tell you right now that I've had faith in DJT all year. Ever since it became DJT, ever since it went full on with what did come out of the SPAC, all that. Devin Nunes became CEO, full faith in this. It is now doing exactly what I thought it would do leading up to the election. Exactly. And so because of that, I feel like have a little bit of a pulse on here. Everybody I know that I trust says that DJT right now looks like an absolute monster. Ham's out here sharing that his buddy thinks DJT could go to 100. That's another 100% rise. BAM Investor saying his algorithm has it tapping at 88, and if it breaks that, it could melt up from there. And then we have Johnny Tobacco saying that 50's around the corner. Do I hear 60? Been telling you for 3 weeks there were shorts getting squeezed. It's just getting started, he said. We've heard there's up to 1 billion shorts in this. Okay, I've heard there's up to 300 market makers trapped in DJT. You know what that means? That means mad scramble on the way out. All of them fighting to get out first. It's very possible. With the momentum Trump has right now, if you're a short seller and you are stuck in DJT and you see that this man who owns the majority of this company is about to become the most powerful man on earth and has a team that is completely ready to obliterate everything that they think is bad for the country, everything that they think is unfair, everything that they feel is deep state. He's already said he'd get rid of Gensler. He's obviously got his eye on the markets. Do you think these morons, who are actually not that morons, they're morons for some of the risks they take, but they're not stupid people. Do you think these guys are looking at that and saying, we'll handle it, this will be fine? No, they are saying, dear God, we got to get out. Shorts are getting out right now. That's why it's going up so much. But there's still a ton in this. A ton. So how much further can it go? I don't know. I think this could be GameStop or bigger, maybe really bigger. I don't know. It's impossible to know the top. It really is. No one can tell you that. What I can say is this. Leading up to the election, it looks like there's a bunch of shorts already bailing, saying we're not taking the risk, which means that there's going to be some in there who wait till the end to the actual election. And when he wins, they're probably going to bail. And so I think from now until the election, guys, it's it's all green skies. I mean, we might have a little bit of a down day or a barcoding day, but I just don't see how this goes down. This story says there's no way it goes down. There's really no reason for it to. Who's going to short this more right now? Who's selling off right now? You think Trump voters are selling off when their guy is winning and they're riding this winning wave right now? They don't want the party to end. No, this stock's being held like GameStop right now. And you have shorts freaking out even more than GameStop, because in GameStop, there was no other pressure coming in. There was no one coming in and saying, you guys are going to jail if you don't figure this out. I'm going to destroy you if you don't figure this out. There was no higher power. There was just a bunch of hedge funds that decided it was time to make money. This is a whole different animal. So I'm telling you guys, what's DJT going to do? I don't know. But 2 weeks ago, 35 was next. In my honest opinion, 42 next resistance. Hello, 50. I mean, guys, we've almost hit 50 today. He's obviously had a pulse on this. He's saying 60s next. I mean, today we came into this Monday and it just took off. So Rum Dog, in California, no one puts their party on their ad, trying to confuse and discriminate. Interesting. Me says, do I drink Sierra Nevada or Sierra Nevada? Sierra Nevada. It's delicious. What do you want from me? Dirty Red. Limpard has probably left USA afraid Trump wins, showing a finger could stop anything. That's possible. It is possible. It's possible if Trump wins, we could see multiple games, multiple short squeezes. It is. It's possible we get one major win that introduces volatility that causes multiple squeezes. All of this is possible. And theoretically, it should happen at least a little bit. Will it? I don't know. It's impossible to know. But should it? Yeah, we should see some stuff for sure. For sure. Prosecute the former prosecutor. Robert said, saw a new chart guy saying over 90. I mean, I believe, listen, Bam and I talked last week. I love Bam. Great guy. He stayed and talked to me for a half hour after. I didn't ask him to. He just wanted to talk. Great guy. He was telling me like his DJT testing. He said, dude, this thing is bullish. This is a monster. And so you know what? I mean, that's not financial advice, guys. That's his algorithm. It doesn't mean it's perfect. Okay. It doesn't, but it is really smart. And it sees stuff we don't see. But I don't see anybody making a case now that DJT there. I don't see a counter case. If there is one, please send it to me, because I do want to know. But right now, with what Trump's doing in this election, I just showed you guys how overwhelmingly he's winning this. I mean, it's crazy. Second day above 200 DA, meaning next 7 days going up, says Alan. I love that. Mad Max, you were telling everyone back in late 2023 to buy DJT. Unfortunately, you bought fingers at man. I'm sorry, Max. Listen, I didn't buy DJT until this year. So, Rum Dog, you re-upped your DJT GTC orders today. Keep the pressure on. Love it. Shame I missed DJT. It's all right, Matthew. There's always something. Finger could definitely. Ham's got a bunch of people in DJT. He's going to run them over to Finger after this. No notification, Barbara? I'm sorry. Ham's right, you're watching Finger. Reminder, if they're short DJT, doesn't mean they aren't in another place. If they lose in DJT, they can get margin call and buy in another place. Exactly. 100%. 100%. Alan, heard a company in Canada, Teachers Union Pension Plan, shorted DJT. Oh my God. That is so stupid. Yeah, I see Steve Bannon's going to be on a show again tomorrow. So anyways, guys, DJT is a monster. This is now my largest holding. Okay. I still have Finger. I still believe in Finger, but I went all in on DJT when it started turning around from 12. So I bought some 18, I got some at 20, got some at 25. It's now my largest holding. And I very much believe in this stock. And I think we're going to get a big win here soon. I really do. I don't know how high. I'm not out there predicting 1,000. I'm not out there anything. Could it do that? Yeah, I could break out. I'm not predicting anything, but I'm watching it very carefully. And one way or the other, I think we got a lot more to go here. Whether it's 60, 65, 88, 100, 120, 300, I don't know. But one way or the other, I don't think this is anywhere close to done. So I think it's all connected at the hip. I think you're probably right, Matthew. Trump's position value goes up 1.1 billion for every $10. That's amazing. How cool is it if Trump just ends up super rich out of this? All right, last thing I want to do before we go is I told you guys we'd go over this map one more time because I just want to go over what's possible and what 400 would look like if we got there, which I don't think we hit 400. But let's create our own map here. I'm going to show you guys exactly what I think is going to happen. And then I'm going to show you where 400 is crazy. Let's say the only possible way to get to 400. Let's see what's actually possible first. Let's add New Jersey. Let's say Maine goes all the way, Nebraska 2. What's next most likely? It'd be Minnesota. I mean, you see how red this map is? You see how red that is? And that's still only 357. 400 is crazy. Oh, I didn't flip New Hampshire. So that's 361. Maine 1. 362. We're still 38 away. Let's say he somehow flips New York. We're still at 390. And then the only other state, Washington, Oregon, California, Colorado, Illinois, Hawaii, Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Delaware, Maryland, and DC. The only other state I could see him possibly flipping, and this is a huge stretch. This is a huge stretch. Would be Colorado. And that would put him right at 400. That's the only map to 400 I see. That's it. And you know how hard that's going to be to pull off, guys. So let's pull this back to a little bit of reality here. But I'm still going to have fun because this map right here I think is actually possible. And this is 362. We just saw the polling in Minnesota. If they have the polling errors they had in 2020 and 2016, Minnesota will go red. New Mexico, he's going to Albuquerque on Thursday. He obviously thinks it's winnable. Virginia, very winnable. We've been talking about it for weeks. New Jersey has been a couple polls showed it red and very close, and other ones absolutely could go red. Very possible. Maine and New Hampshire. New Hampshire just came out, flipped Trump in the poll, and Maine is very close. So, guys, this map right here is possible. I give it a 15% shot. 15%, not very high. All right, what's more likely is this right here. He flips Virginia. Oh, let's take New Jersey off. All right. It's likely, in my opinion, right now, he gets New Hampshire and he gets Virginia, and and that puts him at 331. As of right now, this is my map. I think he gets 330, 331. I do. And guys, if he does that, and on top of that gets a popular vote win of on top of that gets a popular vote win of anywhere from 2 to 3 points, maybe 4 or 5, but let's say 2 to 3. This would be such an unreal mandate that they just can't do anything. They can't. There's nothing they could do to come close to stealing this. It's impossible. There will be too many people on there. So I think it's very possible. Now, I mean, look at this, I think is a given right now. Here's all the battlegrounds. You see how red they all are? I just don't think there's any way he loses any of the battlegrounds. I really don't. Maybe I could see them squeaking out. Let's see, which one would I say most likely to lose? Probably Georgia, because I don't trust Kemp at all. Yeah, that'd probably be the one I say most. DJT went to 175. Oh, that was a while ago, though. Matthew says Cho's finger because it's fundamental separate from Cho's victory. I get it, man. I get it. I'm all in on Cho's victory. I have been for months, so that's why it wasn't too risky for me, in my opinion. Thomas, how high can it go? Holds up Hunter Biden with a spoon up his nose. Yeah, if Trump gets to 400, their heads are going to blow up. It's just going to be fun. Illinois is red except for 5 counties. Illinois, I know. I just don't trust. The corruption there is so deep. It's like California. The only way I think Illinois and California ever go red again is if the federal law gets changed for votes. That's the only way. That's the only way. They're just in too deep. Media says Jackie let's put a price target of DJT of 166 today. What? Jackie did that? Wow, that's crazy. Bitcoin's almost 71. Good. That's awesome. If Trump gets 100%, he could be king. That's funny. Max says DJT stock, I feel strongly, $140. Wow. God, I hope you're right about that. You tag me on X, Vin? Let me look real quick. And then I'm going to take off here, guys. What'd you tag me with, Vin? Oh. Dems at 400. Oh, that's gruesome, man. That was gruesome. Hope the kids aren't watching. Yikes. That's terrible. That is at 400, though. That is at 400. DJT just passed 50? Where? Where'd you see that? Anyways. All right, guys. I'm going to take off. I love you guys. I'll be on tomorrow. We are, guys, as of tomorrow, 1 week from what I think is going to be one of the biggest days in American history in our life. I am so excited. I cannot wait. We're going to have fun. I'm lining up some guests for my live stream. We're going to stream it live here, celebrating. Bring your best drinks, snacks, whatever you want. We're going to hang out. I got a couple streams. I'm going to be mostly watching with you guys. We'll all watch together, but I'll be here for commentary. We'll pop in and out, and we're going to have a good time watching this election together. So check it out on YouTube. Go like it, hit that notification for that live next week for the election. And it's going to be good. It's a good time. John Cox, not sure if I skipped this, may not have been listening. RNC asked Supreme Court to intervene in Pennsylvania mail ballots. Oh, that's awesome. Hopefully we see some there. DJT should at least reach around the same as GameStop did, says Ryan. Wow, I hope so, man. Oh, we're going to have so much fun once when Trump wins, watching all these interviews and stuff. They're going to be freaking out so bad. I'm going to be so happy about it. But anyways, guys, let's pray and get out of here. So, Heavenly Father, thank you for today. God bless everybody here. Thank you for this amazing group, and just bless our country. Pray you protect President Trump and his team coming up to this election this last week. God, I pray that the momentum shifts this week so much that the election is so overwhelming that there is no doubt that it cannot even begin to be questioned. I pray that this is the kind of thing that shocks and awes all of us. That's what I'm praying for. I'm hoping it goes above and beyond. It looks like it's very possible. And so I'm praying that comes through. We pray that every cheat is stopped. Every attempt to steal and rig is stopped in Jesus' name. And just that we get a convincing win this next Tuesday. And bless everybody here, God. Pray for healing for Thomas, God, Jenny, Mike, anybody else who needs it. And just thank you for this community. And thank you for all you're doing in our lives and in our nation. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, guys. Love you. Have an awesome night. Bless you all. And I will see you guys tomorrow. 1 week. It's getting crazy. Bye-bye.